Welcome to Believe in Yourself, podcast number 3. I know it's very difficult, based on podcast number 2, to read that script and say, I'm going to face it if it happens. Maybe I'll get the coronavirus, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll be able to pay my mortgage, maybe I won't. Very anxiety producing. And I've had many clients say to me, I'm going to say that? I don't want to say that. That's too scary. In actual fact, when you keep on saying that to yourself, you'll be able to learn to desensitize yourself to the possibility that it may happen, and that rewires your brain and calms you down from the whoosh, from the adrenaline rush of anxiety. And therefore, this is the only way to overcome anxiety. Reassuring yourself is not going to work. There are other techniques like meditation, which we'll talk about in future podcasts. But these are stopgap measures to be able to distract ourselves. But in reality, you cannot distract yourself from the reality. This could happen. And if it happens, you say to yourself, I can deal with it. How do I know? How do I know I can deal with it? Now we come to a technique, which is my favorite and most important technique. And that is called the Wheel of Strengths. You can handle it because you have 6 dimensions of self, 6 dimensions of your personality, which make up the totality of your sense of self, your identity, and make you conscious. This is called consciousness. And here is the Wheel of Strengths. There are 6 dimensions to the Wheel of Strengths. Intellect, you have intellectual capacity. And I want you to perhaps draw a circle and divide it up into 6 sections and label the arc of each section. Intellect is 1, and write down your intellectual skills. For example, you're a problem solver. You're logical. You can figure things out. You can handle challenges. That's intellect. Not only are you academic smart, but you have common sense. You have street smarts. You can handle this. Social skills. What are your social skills? During this epidemic, you can phone people, phone advisors, phone parents, phone cousins, relatives, and you can keep in contact with people. You can write them, email them, and that's why all of this Zoom technology is there, for us to be able to connect with each other, even though things are difficult. But use it wisely and use it well to connect and to give strength to other people. Remain connected. Personality. This means your character traits. Your midos, your character traits. What are your best character traits? Based on the 13 attributes of God's mercy, Yud Gimel Midas HaRachamim. God instilled, says the Tomer Dvorah, God instilled into each of us 1 or 2 of those midos. What are those 13 attributes? Hashem means consistency. Are you consistent? Are you persevering? God is consistent. Some of us are consistent, and when we don't give up, we are bringing God's attribute of consistency into the world. Aleph Lamed, Kale. Strong and mighty in chesed and kindness. Who is strong and is able to maintain strength in their convictions? Who is dynamic, charismatic, powerful, strong inner strength to be able to say, I will persevere? That's an inner strength. Is that your strongest attribute? Rachum, compassion. Are you caring for other people's physical needs? Chanun, chen, means empathy, nurturing, sensitivity. Are you empathic to people's emotional needs? That is the difference between rachum and chanun. Rachum means taking care of people's physical needs. Chanun means taking care of people's emotional needs. Erech apayim, patience, relaxed, laid back, chilled. Chilled and relaxed means chillaxed. You're able to handle, breathe and relax, patience. That's Erech HaPayim. Rav Chesed, giving. Always helping out. Always looking how I can help somebody else. Many young people in the community are going around doing shopping for people, calling people, doing errands for people, shut-ins, that's Rav Chesed. Emes, honesty, integrity. Now here's a very important one. The Gadol Ador, Rav Chaim Kanievsky Shlita, has said two things. We have to be careful in Lashon Hara, because this is affecting the mouth, and Midah Keneged Midah, the mouth and the respiratory systems are being affected by this coronavirus, and therefore we have to Midah Keneged Midah use our mouth properly, use our breath properly, and that is Lashon Tov as opposed to Lashon Hara. Be positive with our family, positive with our spouse, positive with our children, compliments, think positive, act positive, use words positively. He also talked about the idea of anivus, being humble. If someone does say something wrong to us, accept it, accept the insult without responding. Both of these deal with the idea of not responding using your mouth and using your words properly. That's emes, being emestic, being makbid in the laws of Lashon Hara. Notzer chesed is creativity. If you're creative with music, play guitar, play keyboard, play drums. Artistic, draw, do graphic design. If you have good ideas, write. You've always wanted to write a book. Now you have your time now to sit at home. Open and start writing that first page of that book. Write the book. Write the first page of the book and the rest will flow. That's Notzer Chesed, creative. Noisei avon vafesha vechata'a means forgiving. Let go of resentments. And lastly, vinake, resilience, means to do tshuva. Nake means to do purity, or pure of chet. Do tshuva, which means be resilient, bounce back from difficulties. So those are your midos. I want you to insert in this section over here under personality or midos, what are your strongest midos of this list I just mentioned? And then insert them and say, I can use these midos. I can use my chesed. I can use my emes. I can use my chen. I can use my creativity to handle this situation. Spirituality. What inspires you? What inspires you? What makes you say yes? What makes you be motivated? Is it music? Is it Jewish music? Is it helping people? Is it projects? What can you do to use your spirituality? You can look outside, go for a walk, maintain social distancing, but be able to see nature and see Hashem's world. That inspires you. Sunsets, sunrises, davening, doing chesed. We can still do all these things, but not with interpersonal relationships. We must do it with distancing. Family. What is your contribution to family? Are you a motivator? Are you a provider? Are you a negotiator, a mediator, a helper? What are you doing for your family? How can you contribute to your family? What is your voice in your family? Be that voice. Think about it. And personal growth, personal accomplishments. I believe that this is a time for us to review, how can I improve? How can I become a better person? How can I grow? The question is, how have I grown? How have you grown in the past few months? How are you growing through this experience? What priorities are you taking upon yourself right now to say, I will reorient my life, I will reprioritize my life? This is the sixth dimension of personal growth that we can use in our wheel of strengths. So I want you to use this wheel of strengths. I want you to put it on the fridge. And I want you to keep a journal. And I want you to write down every day, draw this circle every day. And have your family members do it as well, your spouse, your children as well. And be able to say to yourselves, I am going to be able to monitor how I can use my wheel of strengths every day. Write down how you used your intellect, how you were problem solving today. How you, instead of shopping, you called up and asked for delivery. Social skills, who you called today and give them strength. Personality, how do you use your attributes, your character traits today? How were you spiritual today and inspired? How did you contribute to your family today? And how did you grow today? Did you refrain from saying something negative? Were you able to overcome or use self-control? In this way, we can say, yes, I can handle this challenge. I'm able to deal with what is by accessing my wheel of strengths, by using it as a tool with which to operate, and then operate from my wheel of strengths. I'll be able to say, I can handle this challenge.